The Earth's message came in the form of a whisper, an impossible mathematical whisper that echoed through gravitational waves. No one on Earth heard it with their ears. Only the detectors in Chile, Hawaii, and the dark side of the moon registered the pattern. At first, scientists dismissed it as cosmic noise. But then the noise repeated itself, in prime numbers. It was undeniable. Someone, or something, was knocking on the cosmic door. The world reacted with equal parts awe and fear. The message wasn't language, not at first. It was structure, a grid of gravitational pulses that mapped the solar system with absurd precision, as if the sender had drawn us from memory. The grid even included small anomalies in Earth's orbit, ones human scientists themselves had only discovered in the last decade. Whoever sent it knew us. That fact alone was unsettling. The signal contained one final line, a request, a meeting point, coordinates set in the empty quiet between Mars and the asteroid belt. A place with no military presence, no satellites, no human eyes. The world debated for months before the United Planetary Council finally approved a mission. The ship chosen was the Vanguard, Earth's newest deep space vessel, equipped for both diplomacy and defense. A crew of 10 would embark, all specialists, linguists, astrophysicists, xenobiologists, diplomats, and military officers. Among them was Dr. Naila Serrin, an expert in exocommunication and gravitational linguistics. If anyone could make sense of a species that spoke in gravity, it was her. The night before departure, she stood alone in the launch bay. The Vanguard hovered above the deck like a slumbering beast, its sleek silver hull reflecting the blue glow of docking lights. She placed a hand against the cold surface. "We're ready," she whispered, unsure if she meant herself or humanity. The arrival. The Vanguard reached the coordinates 3 weeks later. The view was empty, silent, unremarkable. Even the asteroid belt's scattered stones seemed to give the region a wide berth. Captain Ilya Goranov leaned forward in his chair. Run the sweep again, already done, nothing. Then the lights dimmed. At first Naila thought the ship was losing power. The soft thrum of the engines stuttered, the main displays flickered, but then she felt something strange, an unsettling sensation of weight shifting inside her bones. Gravity, not failing, shifting. A sphere of shimmering distortion appeared before the ship. Space wasn't meant to ripple like water, but it did, smooth and deliberate, like a curtain being drawn aside. From the distortion emerged a vessel so alien it defied immediate comprehension. It had no visible engines, no lights, no seams. It resembled a vast glassy organism, translucent, oval, pulsing with slow internal waves of light. "Good God," whispered Thomas Rie, the ship's physicist. "It's bending gravitational fields around itself like fabric." A voice crackled through the Vanguard's intercom, yet no one had opened communications. It wasn't words, it was pressure, a rhythmic pull and release, a pattern that resonated through the hull, through the air, through the marrow. "It's them," Naila breathed. "They're speaking." The pattern matched the initial signal, the cosmic whisper that had echoed between worlds. Naila activated the translator interface. The alien pulses were converted into mathematical equivalents, then into conceptual structures, then, only partly, into something resembling language. A message appeared on the screen. "We have arrived. We have come to learn." The study begins. For the first week, interaction was purely non-physical. The aliens, who called themselves the Eshari, communicated through gravitational resonance. They appeared to have no true voice, no vocal cords or sound. Their language existed entirely in the manipulation of physical forces. More surprising, they existed partially out of phase with normal matter. They were visible but faint, like solid holograms carved from light and distortion. Their ship remained sealed. Naila spent days deciphering their complex grammar. The Eshari's sentences were constructed from oscillations, pulses that compressed or expanded spacetime. She felt their communication even when she wasn't actively translating. It was like someone gently tugged on the weight of her own existence. Despite the strangeness, relations proceeded peacefully. The Eshari wanted to observe human biology, culture, and emotion. They asked questions that surprised the entire crew. Why do your children learn fear before hope? Why do you injure when you can cooperate? Why do you create beauty in a world of predation? Their questions were neither hostile nor judgmental, merely curious. By day, the Eshari observed the crew's routines. By night, if time could be called night in the endless void, they prowled the Vanguard's halls, passing like drifting ghosts through the walls, studying human sleep patterns. One evening, Naila found an Eshari observing her dreams. It hovered near the wall, shimmering softly, its shifting form casting ripples across the air. She awoke with a start. "Are you—" She struggled for the right question. "Is this part of your study?" The creature rippled its reply. "You fear loss. You fear failure. You yearn for connection." It was hard not to feel exposed. "I'm human," she said softly. "We all feel those things." The Eshari drifted closer. "And you carry this in your bones." Naila shivered. "What does that mean?" But it did not answer. The shift. On the 9th day, everything changed. Naila stepped into the command deck to find the crew gathered around a screen. Captain Ilya's face was pale. "What's happening?" Tomas pointed at telemetry data. "The Eshari ship is scanning Earth. Deep scans. Deeper than anything we thought possible." Lines of gravitational waves flowed from the alien vessel like invisible tendrils stretching across millions of kilometers. Naila frowned. "Maybe it's simply learning." "No," Ilya said quietly. "It's evaluating." The scans became more intense. Earth's magnetic field fluctuated. Radio communications blinked out. Millions of people across the planet reported sudden feelings of unease, as if the air had thickened. Earth's governments grew nervous. Some demanded the Vanguard break off contact. Others insisted on continuing peaceful engagement. The Eshari offered no explanation. That evening, Naila confronted them. "What are you doing?" she asked inside the dim observation deck. "Why are you scanning our world?" The reply resonated deep in her chest. "To understand. To complete the study. Study for what?" The alien hesitated. For the first time, its oscillations faltered. The decision. She felt cold. What decision? But again, the Eshari did not answer. First sign of fear. It happened during routine interaction. 2 Eshari observed Tomas as he ran biochemical tests. They watched him slice open a sterile sample container. When the small blade glinted under the lights, the Eshari pulled back. Quickly, sharply. Naila had never seen them react like that. Their bodies flickered with dissonant pulses, disharmony in their gravitational field. "Are you afraid?" she asked. The Eshari replied with a pulse so faint she barely registered it. "You create weapons even in peace." Tomas frowned. "It's a scalpel." The alien's form jittered. Small weapons for small purposes. Larger weapons for larger ones. Naila felt dread tightening her stomach. "You've seen wars," she whispered. "We have seen your history. You remember violence more often than joy. You preserve tragedy more carefully than wonder." Tomas bristled. "We preserve history so we can learn from it, and still you repeat." Naila took a slow breath. "We're trying. Humanity is trying." The Eshari looked at her with something she had never sensed before. Not curiosity, not confusion. Pity. The gathering. On the 12th day, every Eshari on the ship assembled in the hangar. All 27 of them. They had never gathered in one place before. Their ship pulsed with intense gravitational harmonics. The distortions grew stronger, warping space around the Vanguard. Captain Ilya stood at the front, arms tense at his sides. "Naila, talk to them. Find out what they want." She stepped forward, heart pounding. "Why are you gathering? What happens now?" The Eshari pulsed as one united field. The translator struggled to keep up with the complexity of their resonance. But the message formed. "The study is complete. We have seen your potential and your peril. We have known your kind in other places. We have learned enough." "Learned enough for what?" Ilya pressed. The distortion intensified until the metal floor beneath their feet vibrated. "To choose." Naila swallowed hard. "Choose what?" Silence. Then, "We choose to run." The revelation, the hangar lights flickered. The Eshari ship's gravitational field surged, enveloping the Vanguard. "What does that mean?" "Run from what?" Ilya demanded. The Eshari flickered with sorrow. "We run from you." The crew froze. Naila's voice cracked. "Why? We welcomed you. We tried our best. We know." The aliens pulsed mournfully. You are bright, you are bold, you seek knowledge, you seek connection. Your species' ice young and burns with possibility. They dimmed, but you fear what you do not know. You consume more than you create. You destroy faster than you learn. The hanger trembled with the weight of their message. We have met others like you. We have seen what you become when you breach the stars. Naila felt her lungs tighten. You think we'll become a threat? Not now. Later. Always later. Their ship's gravitational charge began building to catastrophic levels. Thomas scrambled to the readings. They're generating a spatial fold. They're leaving. Naila stepped toward the nearest Eshari. Please, don't go. Give us time. Let us prove ourselves. The alien drifted close, its form rippling with genuine anguish. You do not have time to prove what will be. Your destiny, I says, written in your instinct. Evolution is your engine, and IT drives you towards survival above understanding. Naila's eyes burned. We can change. Some of you. Not enough of you. The ship's hum deepened into a resonant roar. The hangar walls buckled under the pressure. We run not because you are evil, we run because you are inevitable. The escape. The Eshari floated backward into their vessel. One paused, flickering weakly. We ask only one thing. Do not follow. Do not seek us. The universe is safer if we remain apart. And then, reality folded. It didn't explode. It didn't warp in a violent burst. Instead, it unwound, like someone plucking a thread from a tapestry. The Eshari ship dissolved into a smooth ripple that slid into higher dimensional space and vanished. The hangar fell silent. The Vanguard drifted in the void, alone. The return. The journey home was quiet. Earth erupted in chaos and disbelief when the mission report was broadcast. Scientists argued, politicians panicked. Religious leaders debated the meaning of the Eshari's judgment. Naila spoke before the United Planetary Council. They feared what we could become, she said. Not what we are. And what are we? A councillor asked. Naila did not hesitate. Still learning. The final discovery. 3 months later, the Vanguard's black box gravitational recorder was fully decoded. The team gathered in a subterranean lab to examine it. The device had captured the final Eshari emissions during their departure, free of translation gaps. Naila played it. A single Eshari pulse filled the room, a whisper of gravity, a message meant not for politics, not for fear, but for understanding. We have seen empires of your kind. We have watched them grow. We have watched them fall. Everyone began as you have begun. They shined bright. They loved ferociously. They created wonders. And yet, they became what they feared. The message faded. Then, a final soft pulse. We run so that you may never have to. Silence. Naila stared at the empty display. The Eshari had not fled because of hatred, not because of arrogance, but because they believed humanity still had a chance to choose a different path. If not burdened by alien interference, alien fear, alien consequence, they ran, she whispered, because they believed we might change. She didn't know whether humanity would prove them right, but she knew one thing with absolute certainty. The Eshari would be watching from the shadows between stars, and humanity, for the first time, was watching back, not with conquest in its heart, but with a fragile, flickering desire to be worthy of the universe.